My name's Matt Duff, and I'm a private investigator. There's a man on death row in Mississippi with a potential upcoming execution date. In 1994, Willie Manning was convicted of the homicide of two Mississippi State students, Tiffany Miller and John Steckler. The key elements of the state's case was ballistic forensic evidence and two main witnesses. Now, the ballistics is where it gets interesting, because you see, the bullets were removed from a tree in Willie Manning's yard, and at trial, an FBI firearm expert testified that the bullets taken out of the tree in Willie's yard and the bullets removed from the victims' bodies
were fired from the exact same barrel.
Now, that sounds pretty conclusive, but here's the issue with that testimony.
Since the time of Mr. Manning's trial, testimony from a firearms examiner that identified a bullet from the crime scene as being fired by one particular gun to the exclusion of every other gun ever manufactured in the history of time has been shown to be scientifically indefensible. You cannot say, consistent with contemporary scientific understanding, that one gun and only one gun could have fired a particular projectile.
While it certainly sounded compelling to a jury 30 years ago, the firearm expert testimony was not legitimate. It was not scientifically sound. The other main factors in Willie's conviction were the witnesses. The first witness, Earl Jordan, testified that Willie confessed to him while they were in jail together, and then Earl Jordan provided a statement to the sheriff based on that confession. Well, just last year, Earl Jordan came forward, and in an affidavit he states,
"My trial testimony was not true. My statements to the sheriff about Manning's confession were also not true. Manning never told me that he killed anyone."
And the second witness, Paula Hathorne, was also incentivized to make a false statement against Willie.
I received $17,500 for being a prosecution witness in Willie's 1995 trial. Dolph drove me to the bank to get the money. Before I testified, Dolph also gave me other money.
The sheriff's office offered a $25,000 reward for information on the case. And for her fraudulent testimony, Paula got paid $17,500 to testify against Willie. The case was fabricated, but is there any evidence that connects Willie to these murders?
No. There was no DNA connecting Mr. Manning to the scene. There were no fibers found. There were no fingerprints found. Even though there were fingerprints found, they do not match Mr. Manning's. Mr. Manning had no ties to the victims, so while the case was weak to begin with, it has completely crumbled over the years.
And if Willie did not commit the murders of Tiffany Miller and John Steckler, their actual killer has never been brought to justice.